Shakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Pasha Tareshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum lankarjayakarim yatkripātamaham vande Shri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, Hare Krishna, welcome everyone back to the Monday session. So, for a change today we will be discussing something from Ramayana and also devotees in connection to Lord Ram, as now Ramanavami is just round the corner. So it will be very nice, we can meditate on the wonderful devotees of Lord Ram, their devotion, so which can actually inspire us a lot in our own devotional life. So you would have seen probably in the flyer many characters have been listed. So in fact, to talk about one devotee only will take so much time, and we may be puzzled to see so many devotees named there. So here we are not going in detail about each personality, but certainly we will be discussing some of the important things about each of these personalities and how extraordinary life they have led, and their devotion so selfless. Because Ramayana, we see, and the whole of Ramayana is a very a very heartwarming pastimes, whether it is about Lord Ram himself, Sita Devi, or any of the brothers of Lord Rama. And we see any characters who are devoted to Lord Ram in the Ramayana. So heartwarming, because the personality of Rama himself, we see Maryada Purushottama. So we see that he was ideal king, ideal father, ideal husband, ideal leader, ideal disciple. His entire qualities, pastimes are very heart-touching. Like we see Krishna's pastimes are so adventurous, how he killed the different demons, very exciting, fun-filled, thrilling, so Krishna's one is completely different. And Lord Rama's is like more of heartwarming and heart-touching pastimes. Lord Chaitanya's is a little more different. He's most magnanimous, munificent. I mean, the same personality, but we see that the bhava, the mood, compassion. We see in Lord Chaitanya so much of compassion. So the same Lord exhibiting different moods. So we now see this mood of Maryada Purushottama, a lot of respect, ideals, values, keeping dharma as the highest principle, how Lord Rama set an example, and also his devotees. So sometimes we see to appreciate the Lord, his qualities, his pastime, his name, we need to actually read more of his devotees' pastimes. That actually helps us to connect to the Lord more than even reading about him directly or hearing about him directly. Because we can get devotion only from those who have devotion for the Lord. So, it's like Krishna himself says that, when he came as Lord Chaitanya, because he wanted to taste. He wanted to taste the devotion of his pure devotees, especially Srimati Radharani. What devotion, how her devotion is unparalleled, Radharani's devotion. So Krishna wanted to experience that, and he wanted to see what is there in me that these devotees are relishing so much. What is that quality, or what is that which is special in me, the sweetness which Radharani is relishing. So Krishna wanted to understand. That's why he takes the mood of Srimati Radharani to relish that, and he also want to experience the joy, the bliss which his devotees are experiencing in his relationship. Krishna is happy in the association of his devotees, but the devotees are more happy or more blissful than Krishna, even more than Krishna. They are relishing. So for Krishna, that itself, something very amazing, and he has to take a form to enjoy that. So just imagine. So if we want love for Krishna, rather running to Krishna, we should run to the devotee who has got Krishna, because the key is with the Krishna's pure devotee. So if we want Krishna Prem, where we have to run? We have to run to the pure devotee who has Krishna Prem. So that is why, throughout all the scriptures, whether it is Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see constantly that the pure devotees, they are the one we need to take shelter, because they have got this valuable treasure which we are looking for. So that is why when we keep hearing and reading the pastimes of the great devotees, it actually creates such a transformation in our heart, at least for the moment we are hearing. And when we actually contemplate more and more, we see that it actually helps us to transform more and more, and actually reawaken our love for Krishna. So here we thought of a few personalities who are so amazing, in their devotion for Lord Ramachandra. And especially when I was hearing Ramayana long back, in our childhood, we all have heard Ramayana little bit here and there. And then we have watched some, those days, the television, many people have watched this serials through which only people have kind of known about Ramayana. One of the characters which actually, for me personally, very inspiring in Ramayana, other than Lord Ram, Sita Devi, one of the personalities whom I felt very inspired is Bharata. Such an amazing personality. We can say like an unsung hero in Ramayana is Bharata. Very quiet, a lot of sacrifice, selfless love we can see in Bharata. And so I've thought, we'll talk about a little bit about him and other few personalities, and how their devotion is so moving. So moving. In the case of Bharata, as we all know, is the brother of Lord Ramachandra. And when Lord Rama, was when Dasharatha actually, this is in the palace where we see the scene where Kaikeyi somehow, was tricked by mantra, poisoned by mantra. She is now, Kaikeyi is asking the boons, to King Dasharath, that, the two boons by which, Lord Rama has to be banished for 14 years. And with the other boon, she's asking, she asked Bharata to be coronated as a king. And when this happened, we all know that Dasharatha could not digest that, and then he left the body. And but Kaikeyi was like Kaikeyi was so loving to Rama, but then we know that Manthara's association, her heart got poisoned, and she asked a boon in a very cruel, harsh way. And that time in the palace, Bharata was not there. He was in his uncle's place. He was not in the palace. So he did not know anything what was happening in the palace. But somehow the message was sent to him to come back immediately. So this was a message he got. So when Bharata was returning back to Ayodhya, he could see all the ill omens, and he could see the entire city was looking so sad. It was not the same Ayodhya which was always very light and lit by lamps, completely a blissful place. It was completely opposite, and he could sense something is wrong, and he's coming straight there, and then he's rushing to see, his father. He couldn't see, and he goes to his mother. Of course, there could be some little bit of story difference in many places, but we are taking the essence here. So then he sees, Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi was so happy in a sense that, oh, finally I got something which would benefit my son. She thought Bharata would be very happy. But then she says, to Bharata what has happened. Bharata was so angry, so upset. And he says, and he actually, he was so upset and so angry with his mother. And then he immediately, but that time, even when he was coming inside the kingdom, all the residents of Ayodhya, the Prajas and others, the ministers, they were all looking at Bharata in a very, very, angry mood, because they felt that it is because of Bharata. And I think the Bharata and his mother Kaikeyi both have kind of together jointly have done all this, because Bharata maybe was power hungry. He wanted the position. He wanted to somehow sit on the throne, enjoy the luxury of the of a king. So they actually kind of mistaken Bharata, and all the eyes were on Bharata, not in a very favorable way. And Bharata could not understand any of these things. But then even in the king inside the palace, everyone were so angry and upset, including his other brothers and the other mothers. They were all very upset with Bharata, because they all thought Bharata probably was the one, that everything has happened. But then later, Bharata, he expressed, he was very angry and upset with his mother that he has done something which is not really right. And then he called all the ministers, everyone, and he said that now it is the time for us to go back, go to the forest and bring Lord Rama back. So then all of them could understand Bharata was not actually wrong. So then, a big road was laid to take many, residents wanted to follow Bharata to forest. And everyone, even the mothers and everyone came. But Bharata was very doubtful about Kaikeyi's own mother to follow him, because he felt that, she still carries, such an evil, thing towards Lord Rama. He didn't want, he hated Kaikeyi for her actions. But then later he understood that maybe Kaikeyi, he saw the transformation in Kaikeyi, and then maybe if Kaikeyi says Lord Rama may, agree to come. So then he took her also. And at one point there, he first actually was blaming so much, his mother, that she's the cause, she's the one who did everything. First, he said, then he felt it is a mantra who was a cause. Then he said, no, his father should not have done this. So he was kind of thinking, they should not have done this, they should not have done this. And then finally he thought, nobody is in fault. It is actually my fault. I should not have gone, out of the palace that moment, because I was not there. All this has happened, So he was taking all the blame on his head. It's very difficult in many things in our own lives. whether it could be anything, could be a service in our relationship, in whatever. If anything happens, naturally our heart goes in pointing others. So this is a person who has done this, that, this. It takes a very long time to come back and understand, actually I am the cause. Probably it's my karma that I have to go through this, or it is because I did this. Maybe Krishna wanted to teach me a lesson, that's why the situation has appeared in my life. Others were just used as an instruments. Why should I blame them? To come to that understanding takes a very long time. For some time it doesn't even come. But in the case of Bharata, he took all the blame on himself. And then his whole focus is at how to bring Rama back. He could not feel, his heart was so disturbed. He was disturbed in so many ways, because first he is disturbed, his father has just left the body. And second thing is, his mother has, plotted such an evil plan against Lord Rama. Third thing is that Rama has left the palace. And all the citizens are on the top of it, thinking bad about him. Just imagine the situation of Bharata. So unfortunate. He did not do anything, but just imagine a situation he has been put in. And then Bharata, actually, he's leading and everyone is coming. They're all going towards the forest. And then when they were crossing, they came across, at some point of time, they came across a guha, the tribal head. And then they wanted to take some help to find where Lord Rama is actually staying in the forest. And then he took Bharata. First, he was also doubtful about Bharata, and Bharata's heart sank. Everyone is doubting about him, his character. And then he goes to the Bharatvaja Muni's ashram, because he can actually guide them and direct them where Lord Rama was there at that point of time. And even when Bharatvaja Muni saw Bharata, he also asked the same question. Oh, Bharata, you should be now ruling the kingdom. Why have you come? Do you still have some evil plans for the sinless Lord Ram? Oh, Bharata was shattered to pieces. And he fell at the feet of the Muni and he said, I never approved my mother's, plans. I'm actually really looking for Lord Rama to come back. Please help me and tell me where Lord Rama is there, so that we can bring back Rama, who is a right, heir to the throne. So then Bharatvaja Muni could also understand Bharata's true devotion to Lord Ram. And then he also guides. And then they go to, Chitrakoot, where actually, very simple cottage where Sitaram, Lakshmana was there. And especially Lakshmana was guarding. Of course, many things happen. Even Lakshmana doubts so much. He talks so bad about Bharata. Bharata is still not happy even after getting a kingdom. He has come here to do something, So Lakshmana was like just talking, because Lakshmana was so loving to Lord Ram, and he couldn't really, tolerate that. And so, but then Rama, comforts Lakshmana. And then when Bharata came, and then he saw Lord Rama in such a condition, he was completely shattered. Then he fell at the Lord Rama's, and a beautiful conversation happens between Rama and Bharata. It's a very, very long conversation where Bharata is trying to convince Rama to come back. Of course, I'm not going through the details, but a little bit to say. So he's, falling at the feet of Rama, and then he's requesting Rama to come back. But Lord Rama is asking, how about our father? And then he tells what happened to Dasharatha. Then Lord Rama hears the news, and of course he performs some rituals for the departed father. And then he now asks Bharata, now who will look after Ayodhya? Who will care? Who will take care of all the citizens of Ayodhya? So then Bharata thought this is a wonderful opportunity. So he said to Rama, oh my dear Lord Rama, you have to now come back. Please, the Ayodhya, the citizens of Ayodhya are really in need of a king, and you are the right king, and you please take this throne and protect the citizens. Then Lord Rama says, no, I cannot. Now our father is gone. At least I need to fulfill the words, the promise that I have given to my father, to our father. So then he says, then Bharata says, okay, in that case, you rule the kingdom and I will remain in the forest for the 14 years. So at least one of the sons is fulfilling that promise. So in that way, our father's words are fulfilled. At the same time, you are taking care of the citizens of Ayodhya. But then Lord Rama says, no, that instruction was given to me. You can't change one's action to another's action. And then Rama explained so much, and he's so fixed. And Bharata could see that, he's not actually, Rama is not giving away. Sometimes people could go, in today's world, we see that two brothers are fighting, that I need this property. And the other one says, no, I am the right claim for the property, that kind of a fight. But here we see these two transcendental personalities, they are fighting that, who should renounce the kingdom. And we see here also that it is not that Bharata is like simply namesake. Sometimes you see, even in our lives, sometimes just for namesake, sometimes one may ask, or even we might have been in that situation. Just we may a couple of times ask and see somebody, okay, then they say no, then fine, we just go ahead with our plan, because I am already fixed with my plan. I'm just, for the namesake, I'm just going to that person and telling, okay, if you like, we can do like this. And if we get an opportunity, the other person says, no, then he says, yeah, very happy, and I will go ahead with my own plan. But here it is not like that. Bharata is not just to come with that kind of a mood, Rama will say no, and then, I can enjoy the kingdom. Not at all. And we see that he goes on trying to, use various scriptural, kind of references that, how Rama should only actually rule the kingdom. And he's trying to convince him in so many different ways. But Rama is not budging an inch. Rama is so fixed. And then, at the same time, Bharata is also so determined, to get Rama. And a lot of conversation going on, and in the time, the other personalities like Vashishta Muni was there, and many other sages are also there, they're there, and everyone is actually requesting Rama, you have to come back. And all the mothers, they are also requesting Lord Ram to come back, but Lord Rama says, no, I cannot, because I've given the word, and I have to fulfill that. And when they could see, he's not, doing that, then Bharata said, if you are not coming back to Ayodhya, I am going to fast, and I'll just remain here until you accept this proposal. But then Rama is so sweetly, he goes and hugs Bharata, and he tells Bharata, you have won me by your love. But at the same time, I will accept the kingdom, but at the same time, I like to fulfill the words of our father. So he says, I accept the kingdom. Now I give back the kingdom to you. 14 years you have to rule. So now again, Bharata is in a fix now, what to do. So then, how wonderful Bharata says that, my dear Lord Ram, give your padukas. I will place them on the throne, and I will sit under the paduka, and I will rule the kingdom. I will carry all the responsibilities. You are the Lord, you are the king, I am just a caretaker. And what did he do? He took the padukas, he worshipped the padukas, and then he carried those padukas on his head, and he placed them on the throne. And he did not enjoy any of the royal opulence. He stayed outside the kingdom, a place called Nandigram, in a hut, simple cottage. Just like Rama is going through so much austerities and penances, why I need opulence? So he was also wearing the tree barks, just like Rama, Lord Ram going, and eating very simple things what you can get in the forest. So he was just following that lifestyle of Rama. He didn't want to enjoy anything. When Rama is going through all these austerities, why I need that? So in that way, so much austerities and tapasya he has to for the 14 long years, without any attachment to the kingdom. He did all the responsibilities of a ruler, but he did not enjoy any of the opulences of a king. Sometimes we are also being given positions in our life, especially spiritual positions. How much we actually justify our positions? How much we actually are we attached to the positions? Are we attached to the service? This is a question to reflect on as each individual, including myself. Every one of us has to reflect this. This is a true servant leader. We call Bhakti Vriksha leader as a servant leaders. Not just a leader, servant leader. And we see here a true example of a servant leader, that is Bharata. He was not attached to the position, he was attached to the service of Lord Ram. Sometimes we see that very deeply if we reflect the anarthas as a conditioned soul, because we are not still pure. So definitely there will be conditioning. But it is not that we can neglect those conditioning, saying that I am a conditioned soul. But it is something to really reflect, oh my God, how much dirtiness in the heart. How am I going to work on that? So that is something important, and we are making an effort. We are not falsely trying to imitate Bharata, because we cannot, we will fail. But we truly understand how I'm actually extremely opposite to that character of a servant leader, and how much I'm actually attached to the position, the name, fame, glory. If I do one service and if someone is not acknowledging, I feel the pain. Do I feel the pain, or I've not felt the pain? If we feel the pain when we have done a service and someone is not acknowledged our service, if we feel pain, absolutely it shows we have that anartha, full percent. And if someone takes away a position from us, how do we actually react? When someone is taking our position, a service which we were doing before, if someone takes that service and puts someone else, how do we react to that? Doesn't matter externally. We are not talking anything external. External is all external. What internally happening to us matters a lot, because this is something Krishna consciousness is all about, our true internal feelings and emotions. It's not the externals. Externals are just to facilitate our devotion to Krishna. So we don't have to gauge against or measure based on the externals. So this is a question we need to ask ourselves. If someone is taking us, if our service is taken away, how do we actually react internally? Do we feel happy? Do we feel sad? Do we feel frustrated? Do we feel anger? What do we feel? If someone else is doing a wonderful service and everyone is praising that person and we are not even, nobody is even looking at us, how do we react to that emotion internally? When I do a service and I feel success only when someone acknowledges or an external validation, yes, you have done well. If nobody says that, I feel maybe I'm useless. Maybe I'm not doing anything. So we need to reflect on all these things so that we can actually go deeper and do a service in a proper devotional mode. And Bharata's story we need to repeatedly hear and repeatedly read. There is so much to offer, so much to learn from Bharata. Very heart-wrenching pastimes. His devotion is unparalleled. Actually, when we dig deep, we analyze that, oh my God, what kind of devotion am I doing? Prabhupada uses the word show bottle spiritualism. You know, it is not how many people outside world they say we are a best devotee or a great devotee or an amazing devotee or a pure devotee. No, that doesn't matter at all, because generally in this world devotees would always glorify. It is actually, we should not be flattered or we should not be carried away by the words of others. We know our true self. We know what is happening inside us. So we need to constantly watch and be firmly, we should be convinced that we are deeply conditioned. And in a positive spirit, in the sense of not feeling frustrated, but rather, this is my true nature. And I deeply request and seek prayers and blessings of devotees that I can truly become a devotee. So that is why this book Vaishnava Ke is an amazing book, which talks about all the emotions a conditioned soul goes through. How much I am behind fame, name, glory, position, all these things. You know, will I do the same service without a position? Will I be able to do the same service if nobody is acknowledging me, nobody has given me a position, but yet I want to do for Krishna? Will I do it with the same enthusiasm? Question mark. You know, so this is something. What for am I doing a service? So this Bharata showed. Very selfless. And what did he do? Okay, how many times he was tested? How many times? And then after this, 14 years also, what happened was, this is a very amazing thing. After 14 years, Lord Rama is telling to Hanumanji, you know, the exile fully finished. And now Lord Rama is going to come back to Ayodhya. Now Lord Rama is telling to Hanumanji, you please go before to Ayodhya and see and give this message to Bharata that we are coming back, and watch how he responds and reacts. If you see he has got any attachment to the kingdom, then I don't want to take the kingdom. Let Bharata continue to rule. But if he has no attachment, then I will take up the kingdom. So Hanumanji was sent. Here Rama is testing Bharata. So Hanumanji is coming, and then he is giving this news of Lord Rama coming back along with Mother Sita and Lakshman. And Bharata was in great joy, great bliss. He's dancing. He's in such a mood of happiness. And seeing him, Hanumanji could understand that he has no tinge of attachment to the position or to the kingdom. And his true love for Lord Rama, he could actually see. And then he gives that message to Lord Rama. And when Lord Rama comes back, to Ayodhya, Bharata actually brings all the Arati paraphernalias, and he welcomes the Lord with great devotion and love. And then Rama, understands. I mean, of course, Lord Ram knows he's in the heart of every living being. And he embraces Bharata. So we see that what a selfless devotion. Throughout his life, what he has enjoyed? Nothing. A life full of sacrifice. Full of sacrifice. At least Lakshman had the privilege to be with Lord Rama all the time. He could see every single day darshan of Lord Rama and Sita Devi, and a direct service, intimate, personal service. But Bharata's state is completely different. He has no kingdom, nobody, own family, nothing. He is alone there. Life of a brahmacharya, 14 long years. A life of surrender and selfless devotion. So Bharata is an embodiment of that mood. So very, very heart-wrenching. Bharata's life. So a lot of insights we can take from, as I said, that a selfless devotion, and we see that surrender, how he was surrendered. What a leader! Amazing example. Very much we can connect to our own services and reflect and see how we can actually refine our consciousness and keep a role model, Bharata, as a servant leader. So it's amazing. So this is one personality. A bit we touched, a lot more to talk about him. Bharata ki jai. So yeah, so next we see Shabari. And Shabari's case is, this is like Lord Rama's own brother, of a selfless devotion. And see here the example of Shabari. She's from a tribal background, and basically, she was when she was about to get married, her marriage before was arranged. Her father arranged for a marriage, and that night she could see, the before night she could see, thousands of animals were kept, in her place for slaughtering, because for the wedding day dinner, lot of goats and many other animals. So when she understood that these poor animals will be slaughtered, then the very next morning she woke up and she left the place. She left the place without telling anyone, and she went in search of a true spiritual master. So that time nobody wanted to accept her because of her caste and many other things, But then finally she went to the ashram of Matanga Muni, and he was a very great ascetic saint, and then he accepted her, in her ashram, and she rendered very selfless devotion, in the ashram of Matanga Muni. And then Matanga Muni, towards end, Matanga Muni was such a great personality that he went back to the spiritual world, and he took some of his disciples also. And then he said to Shabari that you stay back, and I'm very pleased with your service. You have to stay back because you have a very special service. You will be able to see Lord Ram and Lakshman in your lifetime, and you can, you'll be able to serve them. So you have to stay back, then you can join. So she, because his spiritual master has told, she had such a faith in the words of the spiritual master, and she had such a love for Lord Rama, that every single day he would clean the entire ashram, and she will collect all the berries, and her style is that how to know a berry is very tasty or sweet or nice. So she would take the berry, she will chew, and if it is tasty, she will keep in the basket. Otherwise, she will throw. So like that, she was doing every single day, waiting. Today, Lord Rama will come. Today, Rama will come. So like that, so many. It's like Treta Yuga. So many. You see, like she became like a very old and emaciated. But Lord Rama did not come. But still, she had so much faith, and every day her energy and enthusiasm was as if fresh. But today I got the news, and tomorrow, Rama is coming, like that. So in our lives, we see our Krishna consciousness journey also. When we were new devotees, our energy and enthusiasm was so wonderful. Yes, I want to do this. So much eagerness, so much respect for the devotees, so much, energy to do service. But at some point of time, over a point of time, we see that sometimes, the energy may actually sometimes go down. Because of the various offenses we commit over a period of time, what happens is the ruchi, the taste actually drops. And then what happens is that, it's possible, maybe next time. We can analyze. Our devotional life is thick and thin. Sometimes you're very enthusiastic, sometimes you're very exhausted, sometimes you're so respectful, sometimes we are, we have all these different emotions. But here we see Shabari, every single day her energy was increasing only. Her energy, enthusiasm, eagerness is just growing and growing and growing. It is never in a decreasing curve, you know. And such a faith in the spiritual master, and such a devotion to Lord Ram, waiting and waiting and waiting. And one fine day Lord Ram did come, you know, and when he came and she was with a lot of devotion, she could immediately recognize him because she was always meditating on the form of Lord Rama. So she could come, and then she was making Lord Rama sit, and then she was offering. Even Lakshman got disturbed when Shabari is taking the fruit and, you know, tasting and giving. You know, nobody eats another person's remnants. We don't offer to the Lord by tasting. You know, actually speaking, that is one of the ways on offering that we don't actually taste, because our, you know, it is like contaminated. But here we see it is against the norms, but Lord Rama is tasting the love of Shabari. Because Shabari, one of the foremost quality we see in Shabari is her simplicity. Very simple at heart. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, simplicity means no duplicity. Simplicity means no duplicity. You know, just being very simple. No ulterior motives, nothing. Very straightforward and simple. So this is a very important quality in Krishna consciousness. And it is very important. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is simple for simple people. It is complex for crooked. So the more we are simple, the more we can actually connect, become progress in our Krishna consciousness journey. So that is why I think it's very important, this Vaishnava K book, very powerful book, which gives, it is actually Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's poems. He has written about Vaishnava K, what kind of a Vaishnava you are you. The book name is that. So it brings out all the unwanted anarthas sitting in our heart. And the beautiful purpose, the translation is given by, the English one is given by Srila Prabhupada. And it's an amazing book. It actually helps us to reflect a lot. It's like we can use that book as a tool to reflect our own spiritual life and see how we can address each of our anarthas and then go forward in our devotional life. So Shabari is very simple devotee, and that actually touched the heart of Lord Ram. And in fact, the place, Shabari is the one who actually tells, then Lord Rama would narrate what happened about Sita Devi's got kidnapped and all that. And then Shabari is the one who would say that, the Shabari's ashram is even now we can see in the place, it's in Karnataka, a place called Hampi. And where, the other side there was a mountain, Rishyamukh mountain, and that's where Sugriva was staying. So Shabari, said to Lord Ram to take help of Sugriva and Hanumanji, to get Sita Devi back. So this place is still there where Shabari's that ashram, the cave, and many other places related to Sugriva one can even see now. So this is one of the simplicity and patience. How much patience? She did not wait for 1 day, 2 days. Many years she waited for Lord Rama to come with a lot of enthusiasm. So in Nectar of Instruction, we have this one verse which says that the favorable qualities and unfavorable things. In that it's a Utsaha Nishaya Dairya. Utsaha means eagerness, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a quality which is very much required for a devotee. Without enthusiasm we cannot do any devotional service. Even a book distribution, the books are distributed by the enthusiasm. Srila Prabhupada said, the books are distributed by the enthusiasm of my devotees, my disciples. It is not that you can put in a bookshelf and then people would come. Even at the best salesperson in a material sense cannot distribute. Srila Prabhupada books. Only a person who has an enthusiasm can distribute books. So enthusiasm is a very important quality required for a Vaishnava. So utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya. So the other quality is patience. Patience but determination. We need to be patient, but we have to be very determined to do that service. Sometimes things doesn't really happen immediately. Like one devotee went and asked Srila Prabhupada, "Oh, I am chanting for so long, I am not developing love for Krishna." Or Krishna Prem. Prabhupada said that he said like around some 30-40 years, he said, it took for me to, Prabhupada very humbly said like that. So, everything needs, patience is very much required. Even in our own lives, we see. We put a seed, we won't get a tree immediately. We need to wait for the tree to manifest some years, and everything takes time. Your mother has to wait for at least 10 months to deliver a baby. So everywhere waiting is there. Nothing happens immediately. So the patience is a very important quality, but at the same time determined. We are not giving up because things are not happening. So in our devotional life also, progress maybe sometimes looks like, oh my God, I'm not able to see much. Even our services, in our preaching, in whatever, whether we are distributing books or we are doing a Bhakti Vriksha, whatever it is, or people are not coming or things are not moving, we should not lose heart. This example, Shabari is such an example. She never lost, her patience. Never give up. Yes, Lord Rama is going to come. I'm going to serve. Lot of energy, enthusiasm and patience. So we see that from Shabari. And simple heart. To keep our heart free from duplicity. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, the thing is that I am Bhakta Vatsala, not Kapata Vatsala. If someone is a fallen devotee, okay, I am very weak. I may fall to lust, I may fall to anger, I may fall to pride. Even those people, Lord Chaitanya is ready to deliver. But not those who are very duplicit, who are very... deceitful. For those, Lord Chaitanya don't want to show any compassion. And Advaita Acharya told Lord Chaitanya, you should not show compassion to people who are, duplicit. So that is why we have to beg and pray and see that how we can keep our heart more simple and how this duplicit nature can be removed. Because one of the 4 defects of the living entity, we know that our senses are imperfect, then we get illusioned, we commit mistakes, and we have the cheating propensity. Conditioned soul has got these 4 defects. So we have to gradually come out of this cheating propensity and this duplicit behavior. So this is something to pray for and work. That means we read more, we hear more, then we understand what are those. Only when we know what are those duplicit behaviors, and then we can actually address that. If I don't even know what are those unfavorable natures, how do I actually work on that? So that's why we read more books, and this will help. And our acharyas have given a lot of books. One of the very great book which we can actually take help in this matter is Vaishnava Ke. So then, so we'll stop here. Then Shabari's one. So Shabari gives a lot of, life, gives a lot of insight, and such devotion that Lord Rama was deeply touched by her devotion. So that is one thing. And again, devotion is, the Lord is not seeing any externals of a devotee. We see in the, she is in that time she was a very old, emaciated, women completely in a far remote jungle. Just imagine, nothing matters for the Lord. What matters is the heart, and that's what Shabari's past I'm talking about. And coming to Vibhishana is another beautiful example of a brother here, not a brother of a devotee, is a brother. See here, Ravana's family, if you see, Ravana was so evil, ill-motivated. Ravana's sister Shurpanaka, Ravana wanted to enjoy Mother Sita, Lord Rama's wife. And Surpanaka wanted to enjoy Lord Rama. Very lusty, both of them. And we see the case of Kumbhakarna, always in sleep, ignorance. So they are completely lusty, ignorance, sleep, madness. So this kind of characters. And we see here in the middle of those, a very beautiful personality, Vibhishana. Vibhishana was so, devoted to Lord Ram from the beginning. His heart was always, wanting to serve Lord Rama. And he was such a wonderful brother that even though all his brothers and, they were all ill-motivated, yet he had such an affection for them. He hated the sin, not the sinner. This is also a very important thing. Hate the sin, not the sinner. We hate the bad habits or bad behavior, bad qualities of the people, not the people themselves. And we see here in the case of Vibhishana tried, throughout how I can help Ravana to give up this evil, idea of enjoying Mother Sita. And this is only going to ruin not only him alone, the entire kingdom. So when Hanumanji came, entered, Lanka, and somehow he was caught also later because he came to see Mother Sita, and then he was actually, and then Ravana was about to, kill Hanumanji. So then Vibhishana goes and he says that no, you cannot kill, Hanuman, and then. And he actually stands for Hanumanji. And then he says, you give up your idea. If you want to save Lanka, you need to give up this idea. But nothing went inside Ravana's ears because he was full of lust. So nothing entered his ears. But anyway, he left. He gave up the idea of killing Hanumanji, but he set fire on his tail. And then, that made the Lanka got, burnt. And then, then after that also he's giving a lot of wonderful, counsel to Ravana in a nice way, so because he don't want to straight away condemn him also. So he speaks in a good language. Then he also brings many things. Straight away also he spoke. Nothing goes in the head of, in the ears of Ravana. He was so fixed. And then in fact he would actually talk bad about Vibhishana. But Vibhishana was constantly telling, no, Mother Sita, if you once Mother Sita, you brought her into Lanka, then you see whatever as things are happening. So please leave Sita, for the benefit of people of Lanka. So, but he never listened. Then what happened was, we all know, he tried all that. Even at one point of time, Ravana wanted to visit Vibhishana's palace, because they all have the palaces. So in the entire palace there was these 2 syllables, Rama, 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 everywhere written. Because Vibhishana was always remembering Lord Rama's form, chanting his names, and everywhere he has wrote Rama. So then he saw that, and Ravana got so angry. You have written the enemy's name everywhere. But that time, Vibhishana wanted to keep Ravana also little happy, in the sense like not to create this thing, so that he can actually convince him to give up Mother Sita. So he said, no, you didn't understand properly. Ra stands for Ravana and Ma stands for Mandodri. So, I have written both of your names. So in a very cheeky way. Sometimes a devotee has to be also cheeky. Not that everywhere you be straightforward and create bitterness. Sometimes to change some person, we don't have to be, straightforward, tell them off on their head and then make them, feel distance. We need to see how in a different ways we can try to help the other person. Of course, nothing works. Then but in the case of, of course, in this case, Vibhishana has to take that step, because Vibhishana has only 3 choices. One choice is that maybe he has to create his own army and fight against Ravana and make him understand. That is not possible because majority were supporting Ravana and he can't do that. The second thing is he has to give up the kingdom and everything and go, leave the palace or leave the kingdom and go. That is also not good as a Kshatriya. His duty is that, to protect. He may not be the ruler, yet he also, being the, in the family, he also need to think about the welfare of the citizens of Ravana. Just like we spoke, position is not important, service is important. So Vibhishana thought, doesn't matter whether I am a king or not, I need to care for I need to think of the welfare of the citizens of Lanka. So that means I can't leave also. And the third option is that I need to join Lord Rama for the benefit of the people of Lanka. So then that's the reason he told, so it was a very hard choice. Sometimes in our life also, we are put in a situation where which one I will choose. We need to choose that is favorable to our Krishna consciousness. That is, centered around Lord, that choice which is centered around the Lord. And here we see that Vibhishana took a choice which is centered around Lord Rama. And that actually benefited him and benefited Lanka later, So that is why we see Vibhishana was put in, and he always, what is dharma? Even though my brother could be, doesn't matter, just because my brother is evil, I should become evil. Just like, if a police officer is there, if he has to arrest someone in his family because they have committed something wrong, I can't be just saying, oh, like my family is very important. What about my relationship? I need to, that is more important. No. You are important, your duty is more important than your material relationships. And that's where Vibhishana stands here. Doesn't matter who is he. If I have to, renounce my own family or my, brother, if he is against my Lord and he's doing something which is very detrimental, trying to enjoy the property of my Lord, I need to renounce him. So that's why he joins Lord Rama's side. And even when he came to Lord Rama's side, everyone were in doubt because probably he could be a spy of Ravana, but then Hanumanji confirmed that, Vibhishana has true love for you, my dear Lord Ram. And, then we know the story how it went. And then finally what happened was when Ravana was killed, of course, Vibhishana felt, very, he became very disturbed in the sense of own brother is leaving the body. But he told to Rama that time, that I'm not going to. Lord Rama said, you need to do the final rites for your brother. He said, no, I don't want to do. He was so cruel, so harsh, I don't want to do, But then Lord Rama convinced him, now Ravana's body is gone. Body is gone. All that, which he has done now is, that is now washed off. All his sins are washed off now. So please, do it for your brother. And again, that time Lord Rama says, you should hate the sinner, hate the sin, not the sinner. So then he was so devoted to Lord Ram. He could not do that because he's so, he has done so much, for Lord Rama. Because of him, Rama has to, go through so much. So Vibhishana could not tolerate that. That's what a devotee can tolerate suffering for oneself. But a devotee cannot tolerate anyone speaking anything against the Lord or doing anything against the Lord. And we see that Vibhishana was such a personality here. And so that's what we see here from Vibhishana's life. So selfless, so surrendered. And Lord Ram says also that time, if anyone comes to me once and says that I have surrendered to you, I accept that person completely. Even if Ravana comes to me and says, I am now surrendered unto you, then I will accept him. This is what Lord Rama's promise for anyone who comes and takes his shelter. So Vibhishana was also surrendered completely to Rama, even though everyone were against. But he chose the righteous path of righteousness. He chose Rama over his own relationship. So that's where Vibhishana stands. And then we see Jatayu's life is like a bird. So how Rama, devotee of all different calibers, from own brother to someone from a tribal origin of a woman. And we see here Vibhishana from a demonic Rakshasa family. And see here we see a bird. There was a vulture, and he was very dear to Dasharatha. And when Dandakaranya forest, when Lord Rama, Sita, all of them, they came, Jatayu welcomed them with so much paternal love, and when Mother Sita was carried by Ravana, he was kidnapping Sita. Mother Sita could see Jatayu, was in the bird, he's rising from the tree. Then immediately she could understand that Jatayu cannot fight against Ravana, because Ravana was so mighty, powerful, he will kill him. So she just says to Jatayu that just give this message to Lord Rama that Ravana has abducted me, but don't fight with Ravana. This is what Mother Sita said, to Jatayu. And Jatayu could have just peacefully, oh yeah, Mother Sita has told, I have to just give the information. No, he was very old that time. He was already so weak. But he did not kept quiet. He saw Mother Sita was taken, and he was fighting so vigorously. He was coming and saying so many big words, harsh words to Ravana, so that he will give up Mother Sita. How can you take a married woman like this? And so many things he's saying, but Ravana was not bothered. He didn't even, he neglected Jatayu. Oh, it's a vulture, it was a bird. Like that he was like very, he was taking Jatayu very cheaply. But then, he was started, poking him with his beaks, and he was trying his best to attack him in so many ways. Even he cut off his, his arms also. But, Ravana has got this, he got this boon that whatever limbs he gets cut off, it will come again. So again the arms grew, So in that way, Jatayu fought till the end. But then Ravana became very angry, and then he actually cut off the feathers, the wings, and Jatayu fell down, and about to leave the body that time, he waited for Rama to come so that he can give this message, to Rama, what Sita Devi told. And then so when Lord Rama came and saw Jatayu, and Jatayu's love, so selfish. Just imagine, he knows that he will die if he attacks Ravana, but yet he did not care. He wanted to only serve Lord Rama, even though he knows what would be the consequence. Completely selfless. So Rama was very pleased, and he did the final rites for Jatayu, which even his own father did not get, because when Dasharatha Maharaj didn't, Lord Rama did not do the final rites for Dasharatha Maharaj, because that time he was in the forest already. But here, see the vulture and the Jatayu and the bird. So very powerful. We see that how the Lord reciprocates to the love of devotees, and Jatayu, again, such a selfless, powerful devotion. So to end in a very short, because time is ticking, we can just go on. And a very recent pastime of around 17th century, the recent one we saw from Ramayana, but now this very famous personality, Bhadrachala Ramadasa. And Ramadasa was a very great devotee of the Lord, but how he got this name? So before, his name was Gopanna or Goparaju. So he was actually serving under Muslim king, and he was collecting the taxes, revenue collector. So he was in that position. So that time he saw that he was always so that time he has to go to this Bhadrachalam, and that time he saw a temple which was like kind of in a very, very bad state, and Rama and the deities were wearing a very cheap clothes, oily clothes, completely in a very bad state. The entire temple was in that state. So he thought, I have come to this place, so the Lord has given me this opportunity to serve. So he wanted to build a temple. And then and temple means, so much money is required. And then he tried to gather from all the other people of the townspeople, and in his own, whatever earnings and everything, so much he spent, but still the money was not enough. So then he could see that, the villagers were also telling that, that tax revenue which he's collecting, maybe he can use that in the service, and then later all this, once the harvest is done, and they would give more money, and that can be covered. So then he thought this is for the service of Lord Ram, and actually everything belongs to Lord Ram. So then he, used all those money in building a beautiful temple, and he wanted a very wonderful ornaments, for the Lord, beautiful dress, ornaments, everything. And finally, the beautiful temple manifested, and he wanted to keep Sudarshan Chakra. That time, he got a dream of the Lord, asking him to come and take bath in the Godavari river nearby. And when he takes bath and comes out, he saw a beautiful Sudarshan Chakra there. It is arrangement of the Lord, and then he keeps that Sudarshan Chakra, and everything was done. That time, somehow, he was not able to pay to the government. So, and also, everywhere there are envious people, right? That is there, all the time. Envious people are always there, and we see that this envy is also deep rooted in every conditioned soul, which we talked about last week also. An anartha which is very strongly deep rooted in a living entity. So the envious people went and told the king that, all this thing has been collected, and he was very bewildered, because he was very noble man, very truthful, trustworthy. What happened to him? Without his knowledge, he has constructed a big temple, and then he was very upset, and this thing, and then he put him in the prison. The prison is not like the prison nowadays. Even the prisons nowadays have a lot of comfort, but those prisons are like a dungeon you put inside. It is like completely dark, not even a space to breathe, and some little hole where the food will be thrown. So it was a very hellish kind of an atmosphere. He was thrown inside. But yet, he was always chanting Lord Rama's name, and he has composed a lot of beautiful poems. And even going through all these difficulties, he's saying, Lord Rama, you are the most compassionate. Very, very beautiful songs in Telugu. It is there. And people nowadays sing as a kirtanam, like many, this thing, they do this kirtans. And he also tells, at one point of time, he actually prays to Mother Sita, you please recommend to Lord Rama my situation. And then very, very beautiful, many songs like that he has composed, but his love for Lord Ram unshaken. When problems comes, when challenges hits our life, we get bewildered, shocked, stunned, and paralyzed. Our devotion gets paralyzed. But here these devotees are such an unconditional, unmotivated, uninterrupted devotion. Nothing interrupts them in their life. And then we see that he was constantly singing and praising. Not 1 day, 2 day, 12 years. Is that possible for someone, for a test or for something, go on for 12 years and still you have this same amount of devotion? I don't know. Impossible, I feel. It's like very moving. 12 years still, the devotion is just flooding from the heart. And nothing to eat also. He don't want to eat that, what they are providing. So he went through a lot of austerities. And he wrote so many poems that time. Then Lord Rama and Lakshman, they actually came to the palace of the king. That king's palace, they came and they said, I am Ramoji and this is my brother Lakshmanji. And they got gold coins. So these are the tax, which we need to pay. The money which Ramadas has to pay, we have brought it. Now you need to actually sign and give us that he has paid and release him. So and when the king saw these two personalities, he was completely stunned. so much effulgence, so beautiful. He was like completely stunned. He didn't even know where he's taking his pen and putting, writing. And so then he personally came down, and then he saw Lord, Ramadas was released. But Ramadas was more, the king got the darshan, but I didn't get any darshan. Oh my Lord Rama, why you didn't give me darshan? So he was crying out, to Lord Rama. So then he became very famous as a Bhatrachala Ramadas. He was a servant of Lord Rama. So these personalities, they show how devotion, selfless love, unmotivated, unalloyed, uninterrupted, and how much patience required in our devotional life. Determination and enthusiasm. Their enthusiasm and the day one, how they were, till whatever day, until whatever mercy they got, it remained the same. In fact, it increased more. So these are all so many these things we can actually take lessons from, inspiration we can take from, and constantly meditate on the lotus feet of those exalted devotees, so that we can beg to them and pray to them that we can get a drop of devotion, strength in our devotional life, in our service, a mood of service. They were more attached to service than positions, power, name, fame, glory, or anything external. They didn't bother who is who is recognizing, nothing. It's completely heart sold out. So devotion. So their lives show what true devotion is. So the more we hear and read about them, we see, we can understand where we stand, and we can actually work towards the those desired goal of pure devotional service. So yeah, I went over. Sorry, I'll stop here. So I thought some of the, some pastimes. I first thought of talking something about Lord Ram and all that, but then I thought devotees' devotion to Lord Rama is more connecting and more inspiring. And we will have another 2 weeks also, coming week and the following week. We will be having more of Lord Rama's pastimes. So we can absorb ourselves and immerse ourselves in this beautiful pastimes, and derive inspiration from those pastimes. Yeah. So thank you so much, and maybe a couple of reflections, if you have anything, you can share, and then we will conclude. It'll be nice to hear from your side also. You can use the chat box, or you want to share anything. It will be very nice. Ideally speaking, I didn't do justice. I should have probably taken one devotee. I initially thought one devotee and just go detail into one devotee, but then I thought I just wanted to touch upon all these wonderful personalities. So amazing, at least little bit of everyone, which is like a taster thing, and then we can go more deeper whenever we have an opportunity. We can go deep into all those personalities. Yeah, anything you would like to add, share, comment, or some insights you want to share, it will be very nice. Personally, I feel when I was reading and hearing about, generally for me, personally, I feel very inspired hearing about the pastimes of the devotees than the Lord Himself. So I normally, even when it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, I try to hear more about his associates. Same with Krishna's pastimes, his associates, and same with Lord Ram. That's more connecting. That actually creates some at least that moment, some transformation, some feeling of transformation, some inspiration, more inspiration compared to the Lord's one. So yeah. So for me, that was personally touching. So I thought I will share what I feel connected, and especially for me, Bharata is someone who always touched my heart. Matchless love. One of the very powerful characters for me, who has inspired me a lot, as Bharata. So I thought I will share about him also. Yeah, so anything you want to add on? So we can actually try to hear more in these days. And Srimad Bhagavatam also, has got, has all the pastimes of different personalities. Like we have Lord Nrsimhadev pastimes, so Lord Rama's pastimes are also there in Srimad Bhagavatam. We can read, and which is, Prabhupada has given a lot of beautiful purports, which gives a lot of life lessons also, which we can actually read and reflect. Yeah, that's all I can say. So Srimad Bhagavatam is something very wonderful. Devotees who do not have a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's very nice we take the copy of Srimad, because Bhagavatam is full of devotees' life. See, we have to catch all the devotees. That's the shortcut. If you go to Krishna, same Krishna as Lord Ram, same Lord Ram as Chaitanya, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed Sadbhuja form. 2 hands of Krishna, 2 hands of Lord Ram, and 2 hands of Chaitanya. But whenever any devotee went straight, they were asked to stand in queue. But whenever a devotee went to a pure devotee, they got the mercy fast. So that's our culture. That's a Vaishnava culture. Yeah, someone has beautifully put everything. Oh, Satya Mataji, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Some important points to take away from today's session. Serve without attachment to status. True leadership is being a caretaker like Bharata, not seeking power or recognition. When things go wrong, move from blaming others to personal responsibility and self-reflection. Yeah. Inner reaction matters most. Notice what you feel when your service or role is taken away, or when others are praised instead of you. Simplicity and sincerity, no duplicity, are essential for spiritual progress. Externals don't impress the Lord. Exactly. Patience plus enthusiasm together sustain devotion over time. Shabari's long waiting with steady eagerness. Choose dharma over comfort. Relationships and values clash. Vibhishana choosing Rama over Ravana. Devotion means acting to protect what's right even at personal cost. Jatayu sacrifice. Unshaken faith during hardship is a hallmark of devotion. Bhadrachala Ramadas continuing bhakti even in prison. Get Krishna from devotees who have Krishna. Yeah. Shatrukana is a servant of the servant, served Bharata. Beautiful Prabhu. We should have touched him also. Yes, very true. Probably in another time someone can touch upon that. Very well said, Karthik Prabhu. Because Bharata served Rama. Even Lakshmana served Lord Rama, but Shatrukana served Bharata. Right? So in that way, servant of the servant of the servant. Yeah, absolutely. Our mood is that. That's what Srila Prabhupada always said. And Mahaprabhu said, Dasa, Dasa, Dasanudas. That is what is the more humble we become, we keep ourselves, that's why, if that tendency comes, we will be very open, for anyone's criticism, or we will be open to any comments. Even if someone is correcting, we won't actually get upset, because, yeah, I am not perfect. It is good, I hear from others and, use that in my service. But if I'm not in the mood of a servant, then what happens is that when someone corrects, our ego gets hurt. How can you correct me? I know everything. I may not say it outside, but internally that's what I feel. So that is why Mahaprabhu says a servant of the servant of the servant. Because a servant of the servant means I'm actually not qualified. So if someone is correcting me, giving a feedback, giving anything, yeah, I'm taking it. Yes, true. I need it so that I can use this in the service of Krishna. But otherwise, what happens generally, if someone gives a comment, criticism, or a feedback, or you could have done this, we get hurt. Why are you just coming and telling me? I know that I know what I have to do. Or it says that you think you know better than me. All these kind of different things. The mind may bring out those kind of emotions, because we are not able to keep ourselves in that spirit. It's difficult, easy to say. In reality, just a servant of Krishna is difficult. What to speak about servant of servant? That means no ego, zero ego. Only can one become servant of servant of servant. That's a higher level. First, we should become a servant, then servant of servant, then servant of servant of servant. Just a servant only is very difficult. it's really difficult to live like that, because in reality we can see when situation comes, we can actually analyze ourselves, how much we get disturbed when an opposite comment comes, or even if our leaders or somebody else corrects us or tells us something, you could have done like this or you could have done this. It hurts means, the word hurt comes because I have an ego. Only when we have an ego we get hurt. A person who has no ego cannot get hurt. So that's the thing. So we are we can only pray. We can pray and make an effort. As it said, like we are not giving up. We are keep trying. One devotee said, Prabhupada, we are keep washing. It's like a coal. When I keep washing and washing and washing, only black thing comes out. But we are not giving up. We know that black things are coming out. It's good. One day Krishna will see our effort. Oh, poor guy, he keeps on trying and only all bad things are coming out. I think I should help him. So then Krishna will become more merciful to us. Okay, this guy is very, very full of fault, but yet the soul is taking a sincere effort. Krishna becomes very pleased. Only by his mercy, his devotees' mercy, recommendation. That's why Guru, Acharyas, Vaishnavas, they get pleased. They see, oh my God, how much effort this... then they become pleased. Prabhupada becomes pleased. Then what happens? Automatically, Krishna becomes pleased. All the acharyas will recommend us. The spiritual master will recommend us. Everyone will recommend us. So thank you so much. Please don't mistake me that I am telling this for you all. I am telling to me first, because these lessons, every lesson what we are learning is for our own self, because there is a lot to reflect in our own life. And I felt these are very inspiring, and I am sharing with you because it is helping me, and I think it will help everyone. So that is the intention behind this. And truly it is very the more we read it, every time we read it, opens our eyes in different angles. So so thank you for this opportunity, and thank you all for joining. We pray that by the mercy of all this, Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual teachers, and the acharyas, we can develop, pure devotional service. That's a goal, when we can move in that direction, with all enthusiasm and determination. So thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for all your wonderful, points which you have shared here. Really appreciate, and thank you, Satya Mataji. Very nicely you have put everything, these notes. Maybe if it is possible, you can share that in the group also. That will be very helpful. Everyone can get benefited. Yes. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I'll go for the darshan downstairs quickly. Hare Krishna, can you see?
Yes, Mataji, you can see.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai.
Jai.
Pancha Tattva ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ranjani Mai Prabhu. Thank you, all the devotees.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.